Hello everyone, my name is Robin Kusler. Before diving into my presentation on the piece of work that I have chosen, I will briefly introduce myself. I grew up in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, but reside in Fort McMurray, Alberta. I began teaching in 2013 and currently work at Dr. K.A. Clark School teaching ECDP and full-day kindergarten. I decided to pursue the Master of Education degree because I wanted to learn more about the profession and the curriculum. As soon as I began teaching, I felt that there was so much to learn about the profession and decided right away that I would eventually apply to the program with the University of Alberta after gaining some teaching experience. Censo and D'Angelo state, while many of us believe that we treat everyone the same, this is not possible. Countless studies show that humans are not and cannot be objective about one another. Censo and D'Angelo's book, Is Everyone Really Equal?, is one of my favorite takeaways from this program. Every topic in the Teaching for Social Justice course was heavy and brought forth amazing discussions each week. This book in particular made these issues easier to understand and discuss. I have referred to this book in many other courses and have even recommended it to my colleagues. Almost all of my courses were related to academics and education, and this was one of the first courses that I took that addressed a bigger picture. This course has taught me that the issues of social justice are prevalent in all aspects of our lives and deeply rooted in the educational system. I chose this course as a focal point for my capstone presentation because it proved to me how blind one can be to their position in a privileged world. I have readily recognized that white privilege is like an invisible weightless knapsack of special provisions, maps, passports, visas, clothes, tools, and blank checks. Before this course, I will admit to being blind to the privilege I have access to. It astonishes me that I have lived this long without understanding the true meaning of privilege. Not only did I fail to recognize my own privilege, I was unaware of how it may have affected my practice as a classroom teacher. Although I've learned so much from every piece of work in this program, I chose to focus on my gender presentation from the Teaching for Social Justice course. This piece of work allowed me to dive into the issues of gender in education. In particular, we looked at gender bias in education and focused on women in administrative positions. I was fortunate enough to be able to interview the vice principal and principal at my current school to learn about their journey to become school administrators. When preparing for this presentation, we discussed the underrepresentation of women in administrative positions. We discussed in depth the reasoning behind this, including the fact that women underestimate their abilities because of society pressures and stereotypes. Carnahan states, quote, like all stereotyping, gender stereotyping restricts a person's full potential. If readers believe they can only read boy or girl books, then they miss out not only on great pieces of literature and learning, but they continue to believe and live by the gender myth on what defines male and female. Not only did we address the representation of women in administrative positions, but we also discussed the importance of evaluating resources and literature that address gender stereotypes and myths. This discussion prompted me to bring forth these issues within my own classroom. My presentation on gender, as well as the rest of the content from this course, has already changed the way I teach. I've begun to have discussions with staff members regarding issues in social justice. I have also had conversations and worked with our librarian to display inclusive resources that are written from more than one perspective. Also, within the Early Learning Division, we have begun to evaluate resources for appropriate terminology, especially in relation to gender. Ryan, Patraw, and Bendar explain that good professional development on how to teach a wide range of social issues will make it more likely that teachers will model the kinds of inclusive behaviors and language that they want their students to learn. My goal is to continue to have discussions with colleagues at both the school and district level. I would like to learn more about the level of commitment in addressing the issues within my school and district by including these discussions in our professional development. I'm working toward gaining the necessary experience to become an administrator. This goal was truly defined through the completion of my gender presentation, as I was able to learn from two incredible women administrators at my school. Eventually, I would like to return to school to complete the Doctor of Education program. Until then, I will continue to apply the knowledge I've gained from my Master of Education experience to my role as a classroom teacher. Even though I chose this one particular piece of work from this course, I have thoroughly enjoyed the connections made between each course, especially in regard to social justice issues in education. There is an abundance of information regarding social justice, and while the course was very detailed, we only scratched the surface of these issues. Although I feel enlightened from this course and degree, I have come to understand that there is always something to learn, especially in regard to teaching. I will be working towards diminishing the presence of stereotypes within my classroom and school by first acknowledging them. Thank you for taking the time to view my presentation. If you haven't already taken a course on social justice, I highly recommend it. I hope everyone had an amazing learning experience in their program.